Again, a line of snow picking up, sweeping across the metro area right now, coating roadways. The next arrival time moving into the Goshen area by 6:22. Latest on the snow and the roads in your ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Forecast. ABC 57 News starts right now.
Covering South Bend, Elkhart, and all of Michiana. This is ABC 57 News at 6.
2 people are dead after a car versus pedestrian accident. What officials say happened in South Bend overnight. Plus, moving on to the Sweet 16, where and who the Fighting Irish will play this weekend as they advance in the NCAA tournament. And take it slow out there, Michiana. It's already a messy morning drive as snow continues to fall this morning. Good Tuesday morning, Michiana. Welcome to ABC 57 News. I'm Emily Pritchard. It may be spring, but it's definitely a winter-like morning with snow coating the roads already. This morning, we have team coverage, including ABC 57 meteorologist Tom Coombs, but we first start with ABC 57's Eric Stelzer, who is out on those roads checking them out for us. Hey, Eric.
Emily, good morning. At a red light right now, but you can see over here this road is getting snow-packed pretty soon. We're moving now, green light. We're seeing snow falling down pretty fast, especially over the last 20 minutes or so. This is in the Mishawaka area right now. We're just heading down Main Street, and you can see why you're definitely going to need to just slow down today as you head out. We've seen that snow all year. It's not as much as some of the previous storms that we've had, but still enough to hinder your morning commute and give you at least a slippery drive out here this morning. Reporting live from the ABC 57 First Warning Mobile Weather Tracker, Eric Stelzer, ABC 57 News.
Thank you, Eric. And let's now turn our attention to what's happening across Michiana. ABC 57 First Warning Neighborhood meteorologist Tom Coombs is tracking the latest for us into your neighborhood. Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Emily. Yeah, it is the snow that's sweeping through. We're here at 5:30 before the snow really started to fall, and it has picked up over the past 30 minutes. And will likely last for the next hour to 2 hours, moving through from the north and west towards the south and east. We're already seeing the backside of this. Again, this is over Lake Michigan where it's going to be coming to an end, but the heaviest is moving through right now. We'll go in and on a closer scan across the metro area. Snow from New Buffalo to Wajack Nile still heavy, and over South Bend, Mishawaka has not reached the Goshen area just yet, but Goshen within the next 15 minutes you'll see snow. Expect snow packing roads from Bremen towards Napanee towards the Plymouth area this morning, so it is a snowy start. You need to slow down as we have a coating on those roads, and it's going to be cold today, but we do see a warm up in your ABC 57 First Warning 10-day forecast. Emily?
Thanks, Tom. And breaking overnight, 2 people are dead after at least one of them was hit by a vehicle in South Bend. That happened around 11:30 last night on State Road 933 just south of Auten. ABC 57's Eric Cox is live at that intersection with more on this breaking news. Eric?
Good morning, Emily. As you said, I'm out here on the intersection of Indiana 933 and Auten Road, where as you can see right now, it's pretty busy. There's cars coming by right now. But if you would have been over here a couple of hours ago, just 2 or 3 hours ago from now, you would have saw that there were still investigators out here looking over last night's crime scene. And the road, the always busy Indiana 933, was still shut down. But they were racing against the morning commute as well as this snow coming down to try and gather all the evidence they could before it could potentially be ruined. Now, that was actually a half-mile-long crime scene as well last night, Emily, so they had quite a bit of area to cover. It spanned from the intersection of 933 and Auten all the way to Brick Road. They had that entire area blocked off from commuters. Now, please tell me that they found the bodies of 2 men about 20 yards from each other in that area of 933. And when I last spoke to authorities, they really didn't have a lot of information on what had happened to those victims. They didn't know who these men were, where they lived, or even if the victims knew each other themselves. Now, they do know that their deaths are the result of a hit-and-run accident in the northbound lanes of 933 around 11:30 last night, or possibly even 2 separate accidents, given how far apart the victims were from each other when found. Now, authorities did have to shut down a portion of 933, as I said, but they did have it open around 3:45, 4 o'clock this morning, in plenty of time for the morning commuters. Now, they had the busy road reopened at that time, and that's a good thing. Because of the large scale of the crime scene, I'm told that police are working alongside the St. Joseph County Fatal Alcohol Crash Team, or FACT for short, to solve this case. Now, I talked to St. Joe County Police Assistant Chief Bill Thompson this morning, and he says FACT investigators specialize in this exact sort of situation.
When this kind of event happens, there are pieces that break off of a car. These investigators are trained to take those pieces and actually make identifications off at least makes, models, approximate years That's the kind of stuff they're working on right now. Those are the kind of steps they're taking.
Now, police have already questioned witnesses and even talked to a driver of a pickup truck who claims to have been involved in last night's accident, although he's mentioned that he's not the hit-and-run driver himself, but just someone who was around and actually got mixed up into it. But police have since released all of the witnesses and let them, go home, and they're going to continue their investigation from here on out. Additionally, authorities are asking that if anybody driving along 933 last night who might have seen something suspicious, please call St. Joseph County Police, and that number can be found on our website. That's abc57.com. Live in South Bend this morning, Eric Cox, ABC 57 News.
And breaking this morning, a shooting at Naval Station Norfolk has left 2 people dead. That happened around 11:20 last night in Virginia. A naval spokesman says 1 male sailor was shot, while security killed 1 male civilian suspect. Now, no others were injured. And U.S. Navy Secretary Forces responded to that shooting and briefly put the base on lockdown. An investigation is now underway, and we'll follow this breaking news and bring you any updates. And the mystery is still brewing in the search for Flight 370. That search effort to find the remains of the missing Malaysian flight are on hold until at least tomorrow due to bad weather. And breaking right now, officials say the challenge of that search is not diplomatic, but rather technical and logistical. Right now, Chinese relatives of passengers on board are storming the Malaysian embassy demanding answers. And a deadly mudslide in Washington state has left 14 people now dead and nearly 200 still missing. The number of dead and missing grew yesterday as hope of finding survivors continues to dwindle. The number of those missing is expected to drop because people will eventually turn up, and the process of gathering names hasn't been exact. Now, rescuers are using dogs, sonar equipment, and aircraft to find any survivors. And that mudslide happened Saturday just north of Seattle. And Indiana Governor Mike Pence has signed a bill to take Hoosier schools out of Common Core. ABC 57 was at the South Bend School Board meeting last night to find out what this means for your child. No standards have been defined yet by the state, but Governor Pence believes the schools should push children to above the national standards academically. Now, the superintendent for South Bend Community Schools says this is a sign of progress.
We have children that need to be learning and teachers who want to teach them, and so we're in a position that we're just moving forward with Indiana standards that we have worked with teachers on, and we're confident that those standards will prepare our kids.
Now, Governor Pence hopes this will raise the bar and push students to higher levels academically. And it's always sweet to return home, and the Notre Dame women's basketball team is heading to the Sweet 16 in front of a home crowd. That's after last night's 84-67 win over Arizona State. ABC 57 was on the sidelines in Toledo during that big game for the Irish. Now, Notre Dame out-rebounded but trailed Arizona State twice in the first half.
They were just pressuring the ball, playing good man-to-man defense, and we haven't seen that in a while, but we did a good job of making that adjustment at half times.
Now, it wasn't long before the Fighting Irish lived up to their name, coming back to lead at the half. The Irish will return Saturday to Purcell Pavilion for the Sweet 16 game. ABC 57 will be at this weekend's game, and we'll bring you live coverage in our newscast. And developing this morning, officials are looking into multiple factors after that train derailed at Chicago's O'Hare Airport, including just how fast it was going. We first broke this story for you during our morning newscast yesterday. Over 30 people were injured when that train jumped a bumper at the end of the line and went right up the escalator. The NTSB plans to interview the driver of that train. And 6:09 this morning, debris is all that's left of one Midwest home after an explosion. What officials say could be the blame for that house explosion. Plus, the roads, they could be messy today in Michiana, but those in California dealt with a different issue, leading to a multiple vehicle crash, all caught on camera. We have the dramatic video for you this morning.
And we're tracking the snow moving through right now, leaving a coating on roads, about to work into the Goshen area this morning. Prepare for a slick morning drive in your ABC 57 First Warning neighborhood weather forecast.